Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is One of Each Gaming, and we are back once more with Xenoblade Chronicles X. I am very excited to delve into this. Now, today's going to be an incredibly short stream, but when I was thinking, would I rather do no stream or at least some stream? Some stream seemed way better. So, last time we were here, we were exploring the last leg of NLA. So we fully explored the commercial district, fully explored the administrative district, and looked at the residential. One quick second, we have an issue with the stream, as I'm sure you can all see. I just hooked up my capture card. It may take a little bit until it's at full capacity. Let's grab this information. Okay, I guess we're not getting that information.
Hi. I'm so glad you asked.
Wow, newbie. You couldn't look more lost and confused if you tried. Here, I'll talk you through it. This district is where you'll find the facilities like the Outfitter's Test Hangar, as well as the integrated production plant that is so vital to life in New LA. Other facilities include the waste processing units, which are often run by my department. Those are where we gather all of New LA's garbage and roast the crap out of it. They're pretty much the awesomest things in the entire district. You should come take a look sometime. As the manager, I can give you the VIP tour.
Hi.
The fundamental goal of humanity is finding the life hold. Wouldn't you say? I mean, that's the reason we're all here. So, when I complain that my waste processing units are understaffed, do you think they send me any additional people? Nope. Not a single one. Look, I know that we're in a state of emergency. And I know we all have to work hard and do our part and blah, blah, blah. But I haven't had a day off in over a month. One of these days, I'm going to work myself to death and it'll be me being incinerated. I will accept help from literally anyone at this point. Somebody. Anybody. Save me. You know, Lisa, I feel that. Sorry that you guys couldn't follow the text because the capture card froze. My apologies. Kate, so there should be one more gent in this area named Sullivan. But then again, it is nighttime, so maybe he's a daytime. Actually, it says it doesn't matter. So maybe we'll just come around here. Here he is. Sup, Sullivan? You're exactly who we want to talk to. And you're not a man.
Yes?
I kind of thought you were a man. The food supply that I've helped develop is quite tasty, wouldn't you agree? You don't even know what I'm talking about. Are you not aware that New LA's food supply is made out of Miran flora at the integrated production plant? New LA has no fields or ranches. And yet we have all the grain, sausage, and ketchup we need to make a fine hot dog. I'm confident that its taste and texture closely mimic the real thing. The nutritional value? I haven't really thought about it. But as long as it's not toxic, I'm sure it's fine.
Yes?
I'm sure you're right, Sullivan. In order to study the plant life of Mira, I've submitted requests for blades to collect samples. You are a blade yourself, yes? My, I'm quite tempted to ask for your help as well. But the problem is, I haven't yet decided which area I want samples from. What should I do? They all seem so interesting. Okay, so apparently we missed a couple up in the Central Industrial District. So, one named Samanya. Hey, it's Roscoe's.
Hey, listen.
Listen to this.
Even merely maintaining our current front lines requires ludicrous amounts of money and materials. It was difficult enough on Earth, but supporting a military on a planet like this requires resources on a whole other scale. Which means we curators need to secure sufficient resources here on Mira to fuel Blade's military activities. Otherwise, it will be impossible to sustain such offenses against our new enemies, search for the Lifehold, or continue countless other Blade projects. It's not the most glamorous line of work, but when I came to understand how important it was to the continuance of Blade, I knew I had to join. Our resource transport helicopters are constantly being attacked by indigents. So far, Howard and Siska have managed to evade the attacks with quick thinking and spry reflexes. But I know it's only a matter of time before our luck runs out. We've asked the Interceptors to help clear our fight path of indigents. But they have a lot on their plates right now, so it could be a bit. I hope they get to it soon, though. Okay, system, change time. We need to look for Samaria. There we go. So Roscoe's still chilling out here.
Am I right?
Hey, Tobias, do we need you? We do need
What?
you.
Nice.
Mira right now is kind of like San Francisco before the gold rush. We know there are valuable resources all around us, and most of them haven't been claimed yet. While the rest of Blade is off casually performing missions, I'm going to expand Frontier Nav and make a fortune. You want to get in on this action? If so, I'm going to need every last credit you got. Oh, and you'll only be a junior partner. So you have to follow orders from me. If there's any time to give him
What?
all my money, it's right now. But we're not doing that.
Damn.
I hear there's this goody Kirsty's going around to Blades who ain't been clued in yet and teaching them all about Frontier Nav. Why can't you mind your own damn business? Huh? What if one of those little pukes beats me to a prime Frontier Nav spot and installs a probe? And if she's such a frickin' expert, why doesn't she go and get herself rich instead of shooting her mouth off about it to everyone else? That sounds a lot like a you problem, Tobias, and not a we problem. I love how you're worried about getting rich, as you're not even sure if humanity's going to survive. Frickin' classy. Okay, so that's Roscoe.
Oh,
There's Anna, there's Robert. Here they are. Samanya.
yes?
If you ride that elevator over to the top, you'll have a beautiful overlook of the entire city. Have you ever been up there yet? It's pretty incredible. Whenever I see New LA's strength and beauty unfold before me like that, it always inspires me to work that much harder at my job. I want to make New LA every bit the city the real New Los Angeles was. I'll do my part, but I'll be counting on you Blades to protect this city and the bright future it holds.
Yes?
What else do you have to say? Blades have found shipping containers and debris from the White Whale scattered all over Mira. I helped build the White Whale, you know, and watching those xenoforms send it crashing down in pieces was... It was horrible. It was like my own limbs were being torn off. But seeing its remnants be recovered and recycled has helped me heal the wound, somewhat. If you have business outside the city, I hope you'll help us find the remains of the ship that we spent so many years building. Of course. Okay, I just want to make sure that I actually got it. Okay. So it looks to me like we just need to go find the Outfitter's test hangar. Come on, Cross, do the jump. Do the roar. Do the roar. Hey, New LA. What's poppin'? Terrible? Good. That means I'm better than you. Fantastic. Shout out to my guy Al. For those of you who don't know Al is, don't worry about it. You'll meet him eventually. But I'll tell you this. Nobody's a chill, cool guy quite like him. Tika.
Sorry?
Hi, Tika.
Hey. Yeah.
When the White Whale was attacked, it was the Skell team of the Special Operations Heavy Armor Training Unit that overcame the Xenoform's military superiority. Colonel Elma and Arena fought like their very souls had entered their skells and were controlling them directly. It was an awe-inspiring sight. They shot down one enemy after another until they eventually chased them off entirely. That was when I became aware of the infinite amount of untapped potential that skells possess. We mechanics do our part to make the machines. All we ask in return is that the blades who pilot them exploit that untapped potential. If you do, then I can't imagine any obstacle that we humans won't be able to overcome.
Hey.
We're currently seeking a sparring partner for our test pilot. But our pilot is a little bit quirky, so we've had problems filling the position. As things stand now, we aren't able to obtain any test data, which means our new weapon cannot be put into use in the actual field. We need to find a blade operative who's skilled enough to face off against the Skell, and I need to find them fast.
Hey.
Oh, that was hers. Okay, so we have a couple more people here that we need to speak to.
Oh, hey!
I hear Skell was destroyed by a primordial creature in the Elephant's Trunk area of Noctilum. No one was killed, thankfully, but what a tragic waste of critical resources.
Hey there.
Those transports are so convenient. They can take you from here to the administrative district in the blink of an eye. Just like these taxis we had back on Earth. They created transports for blades, since they have to move around a lot. That's why we civvies don't get to use them. It's fair enough, I suppose. All we normal folk do is go back and forth between work, home, and the diner. Cars are good enough for that.
Hey there. Huh?
You want to hear some gossip about my subordinates? Don't worry. I wouldn't bore you with that. But I can't pass up a chance to brag. Pretty much everyone on the White Whale crew is exceptional in some way. But Bernat and Rio are a cut above. Of course, what I really need is someone strong enough to lift these containers. Haha, kidding. No, really, I'm just kidding. That's what we got the industrial skills for. I like you, Dalton. I like the cut of your jib. What's up,
Hey.
Bernat?
Yeesh.
Most of the physically capable young end up joining Blade. Oh, right, we already spoke to you, Bernat. Actually, we spoke to you in both of your locations. Hey, yo, Rio. I heard you're pretty exceptional.
Yeah?
I know what you're thinking. If the roads aren't finished and the city's only half built, then what the hell have the construction teams been doing? I assure you, we've been working our asses off expanding and maintaining the city. But it's a pretty big job. The Xenos took a city that was intended to be completed inside the White Whale and dumped it onto this rock. It's not easy to build a city without the large-scale construction units that went down with the whale. Not to mention that we still can't get the resources we need to do our jobs. Anyway, I know it's a pain, but you'll just have to bear with us for now.
Yeah? Ah,
I hear they're looking for candidates to try out new weapons at the Outfitters test hangar over there. Sounds like they're searching for some real strong fighters. I don't know what you're gonna have them do, but if you're confident in your skills, why not go see what it entails? You might be able to get your hands on some new weapons and skills before they go on sale to the rest of the grunts. That sounds like a great idea, Rio. Okay, so we really just need 1, 2, 3, 4 more people. So that's Dalton, that's Tika. Who's just on the other side of this fence? Alicia and Brenna.
What?
One minute he's supervising Skell maintenance in the test hangar at Administrative District. There's an hour later he's standing in a Blade base camp on the front lines discussing battle strategy. I can't keep up. The guy just turns up out of nowhere. Has he figured out how to teleport or something? At least we've got a commander who's on the ball. I mean, look how far he's gotten us. I'm not big on his freewheeling attitude, but the city needs someone like him now more than ever.
What?
I work with a technician named Alan. Know him? Anyway, I'll admit he's gifted, but he really needs to get his head out of the clouds. He thinks outside the box, which is pretty great, but the projects he decides to push forward are just too damn risky. I don't think it's sunk in that he's not a trainee anymore. Accidents have real consequences that cost people real lives. I wonder if he's ready to take responsibility for that. I really like this. I really love just how good the bloody dialogue is in this game. Okay, so we have 3 more people.
Oh,
Someone named Hugo. Oh, wait.
hello there.
We might have more. Our corporate philosophy centers around aiding humanity's survival through the development of martial expedients. That said, some in the company's upper echelons still put profits first, or are trying to get a foothold in the government. We've left Earth behind, but they're still stuck in the same old mindsets. I wish there was something I could do about it.
Hello there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have to get back to work soon. If you have any questions about Granada GG's product lineup, you can direct them to the company's service desk. Thank you, Alicia. For some reason, she's not on my affinity chart checklist. Did I see 2 people over here? Alicia. Oh, okay. Brenna's the other one.
Oh, hey.
Cool. I hear that a Colette from HB that's totes. Wait, I got a Colette from HB that's totes adorbs. It's also a collectible. So I have to remember to put it into my Collectopedia. We'll discuss the Collectopedia afterwards.
Great.
What is it?
I'm sorry, how do I know you? If you need something, I'm sure one of the Granada grunts will be more than happy to assist you. I haven't the inclination.
What is it?
Why, on God's green earth would I answer that? You may be a blade, but I do not owe you my time and energy. Be aware that I have Secretary Nagi on speed dial. Alright, Kellerman, chill out, I do too. Hey, what's up, Asobe?
Oh,
I know Lind looks demure, but she's stubborn as an ox. Once she decides on a course of action, she won't let anything get in her way. Right now, she's apparently working on some contraption that's supposed to let skells fly. The more level-headed mechanics keep telling her to give it up, but it doesn't look like she intends to take their advice. On the contrary, she's in talks with Commander Vandham about increasing her development budget. I'd put the odds of failure at around 99% for your normal run-of-the-mill mechanic. But given how stubborn Lynn is, we may well see massive skells doing loop-the-loops over in NLA one day.
oh.
I love his vote of confidence on Lynn. You need to develop equipment that is capable of resisting the strange energy attacks used by Mirren indigens. But with the technologies that are currently available to Sakuraba Industries, that won't be an easy task. No matter how thick we layer the armor, that energy can blast right through it and harm the wearer. It's like the laws of physics don't even apply. We're grateful that you chose Sakuraba products, so it shames me we have to say this, but please be careful around indigents that use those energy attacks. You'd be shocked at how ineffective your current armor is against them. Well, I was feeling much more confident about going out before this. Oh.
Yeah. Yes.
What's up, Alan? When the White Whale was in flight, Van Damme was its chief engineer. He earned the respect of a lot of the mechanics on board. Most of the people in my department continued to hold a deep admiration for the man. I know it was constantly being screamed at by Van Damme that, I know it was constantly being screamed at by Van Damme that made me the skilled tech I am today. But even now, whenever the commander pays us a visit, I feel like a schoolboy in the presence of his teacher.
Yes.
I have a coworker named Brenna who works as a control systems planner. But whenever there's the slightest issue, she immediately decides that it's impossible. And when we brainstorm ideas, she has a tendency to shoot down anything new before we can really explore the possibilities. It's an engineer's job to always be searching for new solutions, so I wish she could learn to be a little more flexible in her thinking. Okay, so now we need to find a gent named Hugo around this place.
Huh?
Explorers who are ahead of us can be scattered. Wow, what a huge room, eh? Oh, Hugo? Hugo!
Listen to this.
When you find schematics, take them to the AM terminal at Armory Alley. If you have the necessary materials on hand as well, you can create new equipment right then and there. They're not as good as the things I make, of course, but regardless, I've heard that you can obtain some pretty great stuff that way. I've been developing new types of data probes, but all my work ended up scattered with the remains of the White Whale. I know they would come in handy on Blade missions, but without prototypes, I couldn't get anyone to help. If only there was a Blade somewhere who was well acquainted with Frontier Nav and willing to help me resume developing such probes. If only. Okay, we've officially filled out every single link that you can possibly get in Chapter 1. Now, however, we do have Chapter 2 new links. So the first one we're going to take part in is going to be back at the Blade Concourse. Luckily, apparently there's a girl named Alexa. I wonder if they mean Alicia. I'm gonna look it up. Alexa can be recruited after completing Weaponized. However, you can find Alexa in front of the Outfitters test hangar in the Industrial District. So not that one.
Oh, hey!
That's Tika. That's Alicia in there. What if we change the time? System, change time. Okay, let's go early morning first. Yeah, I'm not seeing her at all. Maybe let's try nighttime.
Did you hear?
The rain that fell on the city seems more pure than the stuff that fell on Earth. Poison rain. That sounds lovely.
Oh, hey!
I am not seeing Alexa. I guess maybe we can come out here, look around, see if anything shifted. What about late night? Like really late night. Same 3 are there. Same 2 are here. Tika's still there.
Did you hear?
The guys have gone home,
Oh,
though.
hey!
Yeah, I'm not seeing Alexa. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on here. I can't find her at all. It just says Outfitter's Test Hanger, so I am not sure. Really unfortunate I can't find her, though. Okay, so that's Fry. We've already spoken to Fry for sure. Let's really quickly... Almost freaking jumped off that cliff there. Let's really quickly swing into the district in here. Because we can swing by Central Melville Street at night. Okay, transport pilot. We should maybe put that to good use.
Guess what?
Some individuals seem to be able to take defensive actions. Okay, so that's Graham. So it'll be on Central Melville Street here. We're looking for... What are we looking for? Coco. Her name's going to be Coco. Kato, Gina... Beats. Okay, no one else over here.
Listen. Listen up.
Carry out assignments. What time? Coco needs to be in the nighttime. So let's change time. To maybe... Yeah, we'll go 20:08. Like 8 o'clock-ish. Right? Yeah, that's Christopher and Dana. I remember them.
Great.
What?
Okay, let's go Coco. Okay, so she is a barista manager. So I would assume that she's going to be up in this area, up here.
Hey.
Okay, now let's come down into here. She should really be like right here. However, I have a sneaking suspicion that maybe we need to continue on with the story in order to get more people to spawn. Okay, if this is the case, do you know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna straight up head out of the city then. Our time of wonderful exploration in this beautiful new city called NLA has concluded. And without further ado, let's see if we can't go out and fight some enemies. Because I'm very excited. I've never done this, but we're gonna start filling out our enemy index. So let's go intel. I'm just curious. Enemy index. How does this, first off, how does this work? Okay. Okay, so then brass. Calogrex. Okay, perfect. Elder Grex, we've got Lawless Grex. So Nocto. Kate, so we got Noctoblada, Nocturnal Vesper. And we've also gotten Origin Blada. Perfect. So that's all very, very helpful. You can see here, it'll tell you about where to go, the level subset, experience, not to mention everything that they can drop. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's so cool. Ooh. I love this. An Elder Grex. Respect your elders, sonny. I don't follow nobody's rules. Bzzz, I'm a bladder, but at night, I am a bat of the night. I am the original bug. Okay, that was pretty fun. It's Wang. So we need to go a little bit further to get past the division drive. The only thing I'm thinking is maybe, okay, is this the way to go around Blade Tower? Where's Blade Tower? Are we in the cathedral? Okay, we're in the residential district. This is not where we need to be. Cool. There's one thing I do definitely want to stop by really quick.
Yeah?
So I do want to see if there's one gentleman named Trevor near the Blade Concourse. Apparently he's somebody that we really need to be careful of because he has links that can kind of mess up later on. And if he's not here... Oh, hey, it is Trevor.
What's wrong?
The members of each division have their own responsibility, but mine is primarily guard duty. Lately, there have been reports of dangerous indigents appearing near the entrances to the city. That's why we've sealed the gates and taken a defensive posture. We've tightened our guard to the extent that there's absolutely no chance of an indigent infiltrating the city. But now I hear that Elma and some new guy already slaughtered the Grex pack that prowled outside the west gate. So I guess we all ought to be thankful to Team Elma for their successful counter-offensive.
What's wrong? This sucks.
Carl's pathetic, but I put him on an indigent control duty and he hasn't even killed a single one. If I didn't have so many damn duties of my own, I'd march right up to him and spank him like the insolent child he is. Hey, if you're headed that way, could you give Carl a message for me? He'll be the one out loitering out in front of the arms manufacturer building. Tell him to pull his head out and get his goddamn work done before Trevor has to stick a boot so far up his ass he'll taste shoe polish for a month. Okay, so him and Alan did indeed have one.
What's wrong?
So I want to talk one more
This
time.
sucks. What's wrong?
Interesting. Okay, so we can't get the Chapter 2 link quite yet. So that implies maybe we need to be done with Chapter 2. Or maybe at least done with this quest. Because this quest is actually pretty important. This is what officially gets me to be a Blade. And here we are.
Slit edge! We're in a good position. Move in!
Now it's my turn. Nice.
Fire carnival!
Move in and do some damage.
Chrome? No! I
Sliding
can't move!
slinger.
Wild smash!
Flame grenade!
Enemy down! Weaken him and lay in!
Slit edge!
Beautiful. Kate, so we've destroyed all of his body parts.
Victory is ours.
Let's keep it up!
Beautiful. We got Infuriate. very helpful. So luckily we don't have to go out terribly far. We could probably fight this wood Leapix. East Gate
Ready?
Plain.
Locked and loose.
Slit edge! We're in a good position.
Watch me
Move
lay
in!
it.
Strike!
Infuriate!
Carnival.
Sliding
If we
slinger!
can just topple them with gunfire.
Okay, let's get to the side.
Slit
And
edge!
let's hit.
Flame grenade!
That took off a decent chunk of his appendage HP.
They're pushing me back!
Ouch. That was very rude, Mr. Leapix. Or Lepix.
Slit edge!
I'm in trouble.
Hey!
Heal
Where'd
me!
they all come from?
Sliding slinger! Shadow strike!
Chrome armor!
Okay, we need to get out of here, or we're dead.
Sorry. I can't
I
seem
owe
to
you.
get fired up. Hey, lay
Okay,
off.
we are dead.
No. I have to keep...
Okay, here we are. Let's just head really quickly straight for the data probe. I so love the imagery of this game. It's very helpful that this probe that they would have me install is literally on the road. Okay, let's not trigger fights with the Nocturnal Vespers, though. Let's also try to go around the rock here. East Gate Base Camp. Okay, ladies and gents, I'm going to take a very brief break because I really need a coffee. So I'll talk to you all in just a minute. we can continue on.
What the hell happened here? You don't think that one Sinicula could have killed all these simius?
Unless
Unless... what?
this is bad.
What's bad? I don't follow you.
That Sinicula. It's a tyrant.
Huh? But it looks just like any other Sinicula.
Think about it. Your typical simius is way higher up on the food chain than your typical Sinicula, right? Usually we'd find one simius standing over 3 or 4 Sinicula corpses. But here, the tables have been turned. And I don't see a single trace of any other indigents in the area. There's only one explanation. That Sinicula is a tyrant.
Let me check the Blade Report database. If there's a tyrant this close to the city, someone must have run across it. Bingo. There was a Sinicula tyrant sighted not too long ago, but it was a couple of segments further out.
It could have followed the blade that spotted it back towards New LA, or come here to feed, or who knows what.
That's crazy. I can't believe there's a tyrant right on our doorstep and HQ isn't doing a thing about it.
Well, don't forget why they sent us here in the first place. Frontier Nav's range is still limited.
Oh, right. They couldn't track it if there's no local probe. They must have lost it when it went off the grid.
Oh, you know we're fighting this thing.
Whoa, whoa, whoa there, rookie. We're talking about a tyrant here. Do you even understand what that means?
We should probably explain. Tyrant is our term for any indigenous life form that falls outside of our usual threat ranking system. In other words, they're too powerful for us to even measure how dangerous they would be to take on.
And too powerful doesn't always just mean physically strong. If a creature has even a single especially nasty trait, it's classified as a tyrant.
Even some of Blade's very best teams have come back with serious injuries after running into a tyrant in the field. If they come back at all.
Sorry, guys, I have to walk away for a second. Let's unite. All for one,
All right.
and one for
I'm game
all.
if you are. Count me in, Elma. Let's do this. If we're gonna settle here on this planet, we're gonna have to get used to dealing with tyrants now and then. We can't just keep running forever, you know? Besides, I'd never forgive myself if someone else ended up getting hurt because we just left it here.
All right, let's do it. But don't push it, okay? Either of you. If we can take it down, great, but if not, even just luring it away would be a moral victory. As long as we buy enough time to install the probe, we can use Frontier Nav to track it, or any other tyrant that comes this close to the city from now on. Just make sure you're ready before we attack. This will be tougher than anything else we've faced.
Well, it's a good thing that we haven't fought very much. But we should probably go party, ground gear, and just make sure that we all have our best. That's awesome. Perfect. Now at least we're all in tip-top shape. Battle points. Destroying appendages. Additionally, destroying appendages defeats may we yield additional things.
Slit egg! Melee attacks next!
I'm off balance.
Watch me lay in slide!
Chrome armor! Infuriate!
Okay. Elma.
Assault hammer!
Shadow strike.
Hey!
Okay, so we can't just
Flame
straight up.
grenade!
That put a
We
dent
can't
in
just
him.
straight up get
Move in
him
and keep the
down.
rhythm
I'll
going.
He needs
sure
to be
to leave a
staggered
dent.
first.
Appendage destroyed. Move in and strike. Slide. Flinger. That put a dent in him. Move in and keep the rhythm going.
Okay, so now this is fully ready,
Hit edge!
and that destroyed his leg.
Slide.
Flame grenade!
Fire carnival!
That put a dent in him. Move in and keep the rhythm going.
Every time I hear this song, I can't help but feel like I'm playing Persona 1.
Assault hammer!
Slide. Nice. Move in and do some damage. Shadow strike.
Come on, let me destroy the tail.
Infuriate! Split edge! We're in a good position.
Now.
Move
Oh,
in.
we did destroy the tail.
That put a dent in him. Move in and keep the rhythm going. Slide. Nice.
Flame
Move in and do
grenade.
some damage.
I can't let this new strength distract me.
We are awesome!
Nice work, Lynn. You fought well. You did too. Now let's get down to business and install that data probe. If we stay here for long, there's no telling what other playmates might show up. This beam of light indicates a frontier nav site. It marks the ideal spot to bury the probe.
Okay, I just want to check one quick thing. Album. Let's watch the 30
Strength
seconds
distract.
here. Volkampf.
Okay, the probe should be ready for insertion. I'll just boot it up.
Thanks, Lynn. The top half of the cylinder contains the probe itself. The bottom half is a laser. It dissolves the soil so the probe can burrow to the proper depth. We tried just planting them on the surface at first, but we kept running into problems with the local wildlife damaging the goods. Burying them is going to save us all a lot of time and headaches in the long run. We all set?
Yes, ma'am. Whenever you're ready.
Why don't you do the honors? You can launch it right from your comm device. Give it a try.
Let's launch.
Good. Now we just need to give it a minute to reach the target depth.
And installation complete. We are now online with a solid connection to Frontier Nav.
Heck yeah, we are.
See? At the end of the day, there's really not much to it. The hardest part was calculating the ideal probe locations. We need them spread out evenly to maximize data collection.
Yep, planting probes is easy. And the more we plant, the more likely we are to find missing crew. So anytime you see a probe site, there's no excuse not to plant that sucker.
That'll do it for your training. Let's head back to the barracks and report to Secretary Nagi.
Yes, let's definitely do that. Volkampf? Interestingly enough, Volkampf is not mentioned in any of my checklists. Perfect. So we are complete this one. Hephaestus. That alien wreckage looks really easy to get. Should we go get that? I feel like we should go get that. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean... Actually, Yeah, didn't I just realized? If we were to go get that, we would have no way of fast traveling back up, and so we'd have to walk the whole distance back. So let's just end this chapter. Chapter 3 can be our major exploration chapter. Blade is base camp set up throughout Mira where you can rest up in a tent or trailer. If you find one, kick off your boots and make yourself at home. That's what they're there for. Ooh. I see collectibles. And when I see collectibles, I gather collectibles. Do you know what might be kind of cool? If we go into Intel and... okay. That's just another sign that we need to get going through the story. We have such little of what we can actually do in this game unlocked. It's incredible.
Great.
Enter the Blade Barracks. Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. Let's talk to Venom right now.
Well, now, look what the cat dragged in.
Sorry we missed you last time. We could have come to meet you at HQ, you know.
Indeed. I suggested as much. Twice.
And we know how much I enjoy being told what to do. Anyway, I hear you tangled with a tyrant, way out of your league, on a training mission, no less. That was reckless, and goddamn magnificent.
Nice. We got 2 mining probes and a research probe. Not to mention about $10,000. Okay, just like that, we've completed chapter 2.
So, Commander, to what do we owe the pleasure of your visit here today?
Well, I can't just ask Nagi to do everything for me. I'd be out of a job.
Hey, I delivered you the new recruit, didn't I?
Yeah, you won the bet. Don't worry about it, all right? I'll settle up with you later. You know I'm good for it.
The bet?
I'm sure I'm needed elsewhere. If you'll all excuse me, Commander.
Well, that wasn't obvious at all.
Huh. Look at you two. I swear, you're like 2 children excited about a new toy.
Look who's talking. I don't recall ever seeing you file a request to personally train a rescue before.
Is that so odd?
It is before we'd even asked him to become a blade, little miss stick in the rear.
Usually I ask when I don't get your slang expressions, but something tells me to just let that one go.
Enough about that. Where are your manners, anyway? I still haven't been introduced to our new recruit here.
Commander Vandam is Blade's top officer.
In a past life, I was chief engineer on the White Whale. Same idea, basically. Someone has a problem, I fix it. You follow? Huh. Not much for conversation, are you?
So you still haven't told us why you're here. From the look of things, I'm guessing this isn't a social call.
You don't think?
No. So let's cut the crap and get down to business.
Ha! Sounds like you're learning my expressions just fine, Elma. Anyway, first we need Chatty Cathy here to choose a division and pull an assignment.
Let's get started. Actually, wait. Get more info.
Pretty much everyone in New LA works for Blade, in one of several different fields. Helping to explore Mira, or to maintain order in the city, or, well, you remember Nagi's speech, right? There are 8 different fields in all, and each one has its own branch within Blade. Officially, they're called divisions. Naturally, you'll want to choose one that best suits your personality and your talents.
Let's start with the Pathfinders. Pathfinder's #1 responsibility is planting data probes, like you did on your training mission.
That makes sense, yeah.
It may not be the sexiest job, but important? You bet your ass it's important. We've only been on Mira 2 months. We don't know jack about this place. The more probes we install, the faster we can get our bearings here and give ourselves a fighting chance.
We've already detailed how important it is we expand the Frontier Nav network ASAP. So, for the time being, I'll just remind you of the highlights. It helps us keep Blade safe. It helps us keep the city safe. And most important of all, it's the key to locating the missing parts of the Lifehold and recovering the rest of the human race.
Okay, next up, Interceptors. You met Akalov and Evans, right? Irina and Gwen, this is their division.
Irina, Akalov.
Interceptors have one main duty. Protect New LA and everyone in it from the wildlife here on Mira. Right now, this is probably our busiest division.
Understandably.
Interceptors ride shotgun for the research eggheads. They escort VIPs around, and they help any other idiots who get caught out there with their pants down.
Next are the Harriers. Remember Doug Barrett, the Skell pilot
Of
conducting
course.
the test flight with Lynn?
Super dope guy.
He's
I remember
part of
him.
the Harriers. If you think of the Interceptors as defense, Harriers would be New LA's offense. They specialize in preemptive strikes on clear and obvious threats. But only on clear and obvious threats. They're not meant to go out and just blast any indigene that moves.
And you got your Reclaimers. These guys are in charge of finding the other pieces of the White Whale. Among other things, that is. Including anything of ours left behind after a battle. Skell debris, weapons, personal effects. It can get a bit morbid, frankly, but it's gotta be done. Until we're up and running here on Mira, and have this place completely figured out. Everything we brought from Earth needs to be treated like it's irreplaceable. Also, the search for the Lifehold. That's mostly on the Reclaimers.
Next, Curators.
What are they?
Curators are the first to scout ahead to unexplored territory,
Okay.
bringing back whatever samples they can get their hands on. Fruits, bugs, sticks and stones.
Oh, okay.
You name it.
Yep. Collectopedia stuff.
It's not all picking berries, though. Being a curator also means being the first to encounter unknown indigens.
Next? All right, prospectors. Prospectors do, well, prospecting. They poke around, looking for minerals, resources, and whatnot. Things we need for everyday life here. We packed all the essentials we could on the White Whale, but that won't last forever. We need to be able to replenish our water and fuel if we want to survive. And sooner or later, we're gonna have to figure out how to replace things from scratch. From the socket on a Skell's knee joint, right down to the frying pan in Lynn's kitchen. Without these guys busting their butts, we'd have no future to speak of.
Okay. Yeah.
Next up, Outfitters.
This one's pretty obvious.
All of our ground gear and Skell weaponry is developed in conjunction with private arms manufacturers, or AMs. Outfitters are Blade's way of supporting these AMs. They'll seek out anything that might inspire new weapon ideas, and even assist with testing new prototypes.
Finally, the Mediators. These are the folks who keep everything hunky-dory with John and Joan Q public. Any problems a civvy has, they come to Mediators. Fight with your neighbor? Mediators. Lost cat? Mediators. It's not a division for everyone. You need to be a jack of all trades, and a people person. Someone with my charming personality? Probably not the best mediator. But if you got what it takes, it's a clutch role, keeping things cool on the home front.
All right, so I think that's all 8 divisions. Any idea which one you'd like to join? Don't fret about it too much. Whichever you choose, you still have a lot of freedom in how you operate.
Oh, don't worry. I'll be doing the job of
Mediators
all
can
8.
still get out there and mix it up, hunt indigents, whatever. And if a Harrier wants to take a break and settle an argument, that's their prerogative too. To be honest, even though it's sort of frowned upon, you can actually change your division whenever you like. So there's really no reason to stress about this. All right, you ready to choose?
I am.
Yeah, and? We're on pins and needles here.
Okay, so I'm thinking prospectors are the only ones that I really don't know. Focus on using Frontier Nav to mine for minerals and resources. Okay, so they're the ones. Okay, I get that. We are going to be a pathfinder.
Then it's settled?
All right. Thank God that's over. By the power invested in me, yada yada, you're officially a Blade.
Yahoo!
Congrats, and welcome.
I know you're gonna do great.
Now for the job. Let's get down to brass tacks. Nelson's team has gone missing. Last contact we had, they were installing a data probe out in eastern Primordia. Then, nothing.
Nelson. Pathfinders, right?
Are we talking indigents here or what?
Your guess is as good as mine, but they did have a skell with them. You'd think they could hold their own, or at least run away.
All right, we're on it. We'll head to their last known location and go from there.
Report whatever you find ASAP.
Of course. Let's move out.
Roger that.
Chapter 3, Builders of a Legacy. You're officially a Blade now. Congrats. Becoming one of us grants you access to a variety of services, including the shop terminal, the AM terminal, mission control, and more. Some services are still off limit at the moment, but I'll get back to you on those later. Ever wish you could zip straight back to a place you visited? Well, that's why we have fast travel. It allows you to instantly return to significant landmarks, as well as any Frontier Nav sites that have data probes installed. Just access your map to use it. Arms manufacturers or AMs support us from the sidelines by developing new weaponry and gear. And by utilizing their services, we can support them too. Head to the AM terminal in Armory Alley to learn more about working with AMs to make new gear. Missions. Missions comprise duties. There are story missions, affinity missions, normal missions, and basic missions. Blade reports are a communication tool that residents of Mira use to share useful information they come across. When you visit a segment for which you haven't completed the segment recon, you may receive a Blade report post. If you do, check your current position on the segment view of the map screen to confirm the segment recon objective, and do your best to resolve it. Guys, I would so love to continue on. I'm so excited to keep on playing. This game is such an absolute blast. We've completed Chapter 2, and so far, even though it seems like we haven't accomplished a lot, we've accomplished an enormous amount. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will end the stream here. And I will talk to you all later. Thank you all for watching.